this thing on? I think it is. Alright, welcome back everyone to the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. I'm your host, Alewolf, otherwise known as Ales Gentleman's Dreamer, the No Thrones Cicerone, Mama Ales baby boy. And welcome to Friday. It is indeed Friday, and today we've got the block I like to call bonus round, and it is called the bonus round simply because I don't do it very often. I feel it's a bit taxing, but sometimes I get the energy, and sometimes the stars align just the right way. So that's why we're here, and we're playing something that we don't play very frequently, something that's not necessarily on our conventional schedule. And happy Friday to you, Z Skyrunner. Welcome back to the stream. Very happy to see you. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're not too busy and maybe you're just wrapping up with your week. And the same goes for anybody out there watching. It is Friday, so hopefully you're looking forward to a very fun weekend. Lots of fun things ahead, as they say. Unless you work over the weekend, in which case I am sorry. That's a lot of chatter over here. Indeed, an easier pill to swallow thanks to bonus round. Here's hoping. There have been reports of people saying that they have grown increasingly frustrated with their lives as a result of putting me in the background. But those don't get reported too often. Bonus round. I think what we're doing today is playing Donkey Kong Country 2. As you might recall, the goal here is simply to try and get 102%. This is a feat that I've never achieved in my life, ever. Not as a youth when I was wily and had all my wits about me. And of course I am doing it here by using save states and things of that sort, a wiki. And that's because I have to do it at least once in my life. Kind of like skydiving. I don't have to do skydiving though. Okay, but before we jump into that, what exactly is on tap? You come in here and you're wondering, well, I can see the fails. Where are the ales? Today we have Pie of the Tiger, which is brought to you by Full Circle Brewing Company, which I assume is a local brewery. It's a 6% alcohol by volume, and it is an apricot pie sour. Well, you might be wondering yourself, why would I want to drink something sour? I don't like sour drinks. I'm struggling to find what's a good sour drink. Regardless, there's a very good story for this. In beer, there's 3 different main flavors that you're looking for. There's sweetness, and that generally comes from the malts. There's bitterness, and which is largely bestowed upon by hops. And then there's sourness, and that sour flavor is it's kind of a melange of things that comes into play. One source of it is yeast, as done in the traditional Belgian format. Traditional sour beers are made using yeast that are largely in the wild, and so the way in which this used to happen is you would have a vat of beer, and after the boiling process you would leave it out in the field, and the air itself would actually carry this yeast, which would bestow the beer these very delicious sour flavors. I forget what those compounds are, but I believe they're esters. Somebody check me on that. The other way, the more commercially savvy way of doing it, largely adopted in America, is known as kettle souring. And that one is actually done in steel kegs. And as you can already taste the coldness of that statement, kettle souring is actually done using lactobacillus bacteria, which is the same bacteria that is used in the process of souring your sour milk and yogurt, of course. So it's a little more efficient. The bacteria are far more easy to manage. You, of course, can't simply open a window and get lactobacillus. You'll get a whole bunch of other things, E. coli first of all. But yeah, lactobacillus, and so it gives the beer a certain lactic acid type of flavor, which bestows upon it sour. I am not a fan necessarily of the kettle souring. There's very few exceptions, but that's the beauty of tasting everything that you can get your hands on. I know that sour beers are not necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but every once in a while, it doesn't hurt to try. And let's see, who knew? After finishing Super Metroid, it may be time to give Donkey Kong Country another go. Well, I highly recommend that. You know what they say, either an apple a day or a run through Donkey Kong Country will keep the doctor away. There's that old chestnut. Let's see what Untapped has to say about Pie of the Tiger specifically. Untapped being the know-all, end-all, be-all judge of beers. Let's see, over here, let's jump over. Oh, this type of beer is actually a sour beer, and I guess we further subclassify it as a smoothie pastry sour, and I think that's simply a suggestion of some of the thickening compounds and sweeteners that they brew this ale with. Let's see what this says. So, Apricot Pie of the Tiger is brewed with apricot puree, so there you go, cinnamon, and lactose, and that's that lactose that I was mentioning earlier in terms of bacterial compounds, to create a slightly acidic front, balanced with a smooth hint of cinnamon. Well, you already won me over there. And pie crust. It's kind of funny to think that somebody threw pie crusts into a vat of fermenting beer, but crazier things have happened. The harmonious warmth and richness of the ingredients are sure to remind you of freshly baked apricot pie. So beautiful, beautiful description there. Let's see if this holds water. Let's see if this is actually any good. Like I said, I'm kind of picky about my kettle sours, but you know, I have been proven wrong several times. And let's go back to here. Let's go ahead and open this. And you'll notice that I generally try not to say too much while I'm pouring these. There have been one too many times when old ale starts pouring something, he's talking, and then he'll spill the whole thing all over his pants. And of course, this is a horrible pour. I used the wrong glass. So some slight secondary spillage, but nothing to cry home about. And this one is a little bit translucent, not necessarily transparent like a Pilsner or something like that, or a Kolsch. In terms of nose, I think the first thing that hits you is just the souring. Definitely the lactic, almost like a fruity yogurt is what you're smelling here. Fingernail, dear viewer, and Fingernail Z, happy Friday. It's actually pretty sour. I generally don't rate souring strength, but let's go ahead and do this. If 5 was I don't know, a gusher, this is probably somewhere 3.5, 4 maybe, simply because it's hitting my palate anew. It'll probably end up being a 3 by the time I'm done with this. And yeah, I can't say that it is sweet. You can taste very light apricot notes on it. I can't detect the cinnamon just yet. It is actually quite crisp, which is nice. I think generally when you're drinking a sour, and specifically kettle sours, you're trying to find something refreshing there. They work very similar to ciders, at least from my in terms of functionality for me. In terms of pie crust, I'm going to say that maybe there is some slight breadiness, but I guess I would read that more like the barley of the beer itself before I would think of pie crust. So yeah, Pie of the Tiger, it's an interesting melange of things. If you like apricots, pies, you should go get that pie. If you like sour beers and this is what's in front of you, sure, give it a go. It's a good time. Okay, how do you decide what type of glass to pour into? Well, I think that's actually a loaded question. There's very specific glasses for certain beers. This right here is actually a Hefeweizen glass, so it's largely for German wheat beers. the way that I pick them specifically for stream, no, there's no particular way. Honestly, most of the time that you see me drinking, it'll probably be a Stein for functionality, and it is simply because it is easy for me to just grab and just drink it. But the interesting thing is that, contrary to what most people consider, the type of glass that you use actually does affect your reception of that particular drink. And we can go into a whole lot of detail there. But when it comes to the buildup of effervescence, when it comes to how the bubbles run through the beer itself, and the shape of the mouth of the glass dictates which of your taste receptors in your tongue actually get attacked first. So there's a lot of science in terms of glassware. Certainly more than I could ever talk for. Yeah. As for who brewed it, this one was brewed by Full Circle Brewing. I don't know why that was hard to say. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and update my ticker. I'm going to enter my untapped entry, and then I will see you on the other side of this very short break for some actual gameplay of Donkey Kong Country 2. Okay, and we are back. Let me go ahead and turn this off. Okay, and let's turn on the game audio. Okay, and you said, right, I've come across glasses that were clearly specific for one beer or type of beer. Beyond that, the idea of testing a given beer across several glasses seems super interesting. I actually agree. I feel like it would be a very interesting exercise to go through if you were to simply grab the same beer and pour it, one in a Belgian tulip glass and in something like a pint glass, right? And how that beer actually is, it would actually hit your particular taste receptors and how you would perceive it. There's also just the idea that one of the things that I constantly talk about is just the fact that tasting beer, and as well as tasting of anything, is actually a sensory experience that does not simply fall to your taste buds. It doesn't simply fall to the tactile sensation of your tongue, and it's not simply how thick it is. It is also just a visual idea, because if you were to see a beer that tastes delicious but looks like, I don't know, boogers, I don't know why I thought about boogers, but that was a thing. It might not read as pleasant to you, and for say what you will about it, but there are certain glassware that kind of just exhibit a stronger, more alluring look to what a beer can present to you when you drink it. So there is that there's that little nugget there. That isn't all to say that ale's thesis in terms of drinking beer is everything is subjective. All right, and so I'm at 80%, 4/5 of the way there. All right, so as you might recall, the objective here is to actually get every single hero coin and every single creme coin, and that is denoted by both the hero coin sign in on the side of the level as well as the exclamation mark. And so, for instance, Hornet Hole over here, or Hornet Hole, has both of those. Let's see where I left off. I was going through Crazy Kremland last time, and I don't know that I got to. I don't think I beat it, but again, stranger things have happened. Okay, so here's our first challenge: Mudhole Marsh. As insightful as ever, Ales, much appreciated. I like it when people say I'm insightful, especially when I don't give them straight answers, because everything in life is so nuanced. To pivot, as someone who hasn't played much of either, which do you prefer between 2 and 3? Consensus seems firmly for 2, but I've seen arguments for 3. See, and that's actually a very interesting question, simply because for the longest time of my life, I want to say for a good 2 decades or so, most people that I asked and inquired with always said that 2 was always the better experience. And I can see that. I feel like most people played 2 and most people skipped on 3. And the reason for that, it happened to me. It happened to me. I sound like a victim. The reason why was because I think that the N64 was coming out near that tail end of the Super Nintendo life, and so I feel like Donkey Kong Country 3 didn't get that much coverage, and while it was shown to be a solid game, I don't think that it received that much how to say coverage, and there was not a lot of hype surrounding it. But I feel like in recent times, when I've spoken to a few streamers playing Donkey Kong Country games, a lot of them turn and tell me that actually number 3, it was kind of the perfect distillation of what the developers at Rare were actually trying to achieve, and that it is kind of sad that it was overlooked for such things. I don't actually have an opinion on it simply because I haven't played Donkey Kong Country 3, but that's actually something that I aim to correct, hopefully soon. It's not gonna be soon, it'll probably be in 6 years, but soon enough. Okay, so Mudhole Marsh, like I said, I am using a wiki here. There's 2 bonus areas. There's those crazy Kato Ninetales. Video game hero coin is one of the end of level target prizes. Okay, so it's one of those situations where at the end you have to choose between the targets. In terms of bonus levels, you've got collect the stars. After treasure chest with the letter O, there's a cat o' nine tails with a barrel floating in the air. So that's going to be challenging. Everything with a cat o' nine tails is challenging. And then destroy them all after the letter N. Diddy and Dixie must continue past more enemies and they find a cannonball. I think that's enough guidance for us. Okay, can't wait to play both, but stubborn Z can't get to either till muscling through number 1. And part of the overall trepidation is due to the looming possibility of 100%. Well, you know what? I know that there's some rough patches in Donkey Kong Country 1, but it is definitely a solid experience. And I know you to be a fan of good soundtracks. I think we've talked about Donkey Kong Country music in the past. There's no doubt in my mind that you'll enjoy that trip the entire way, if only for the music itself. Okay, what am I doing here? What am I doing with my life? Alright, For some reason, I thought that more were coming. I was about to... Okay. For one reason or another, I'll always be less experienced with Dixie. I think I kind of just favored using Diddy back in the day for very childish biases, of course. I'm gonna actually... I was about to say, maybe I should... Oh, wow. I didn't know you could actually pull up the museum. You learn something new every day. Okay, there we go. Oh, come on. Okay, so that was helpful. I never know how to approach those cat o' nine tails. I feel like if I jump on them, sometimes I will just randomly die, and if I roll into them, sometimes I'll randomly die. But other times they actually just pick me up and throw me out. It's always like a toss-up. And that is sour. Alright. Have I played any of Rare's latest Sea of Thieves? I have not, but I have heard good things about it. I'm assuming you have, and what do you think of them? I honestly know the game Sea of Thieves, that I actually didn't even know that it was Rare. Yes, it is a toss-up whether or not I will get tossed. Never one to fail in catching the irony of life, as they say. Okay, so I think treasure chest with the letter O. That's what I should be in the lookout for. Just a random barrel. Oh wow, that was some fourth dimensional non-diggery there. Okay, there it is. So that's the O, and then there should be a cat of nine tails with a barrel on the top. These are some crazy jumps. I sometimes forget how challenging the platforming back in this era used to be. When did platforming actually get easy? Because in the 3D era with the N64 and the PlayStation 1, I do feel like the reason why platforming was difficult in those days was actually not because it was difficult on its own, but just because of the way the camera was managed. Alright, I'm gonna jump on it. Okay. Oh, I almost didn't actually see most of those barrels or whatever. Barrels or what have yous. And it's not really making it any easier for me. Okay. Please. Woe is me. And now, of course, I'm going to find some sort of imperfect way to come back. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Alright, let's actually collect those stars. Let's be a little more conservative. Oh, already had it. Look at that. Wasting my time. Alright, and so I have to be in the lookout for a cannonball of some sort. We're not playing your Game Boy. Painful. Which site's guide are you referencing? I may do the same for Donkey Kong Country 1. So, interestingly enough, if you go to the Donkey Kong Country wiki, it's not as detailed. It actually has less information. The actual wiki that I'm using is the Mario wiki, which is kind of weird. MarioWiki.com. And there's an entry for Donkey Kong Country 2, and actually all the Donkey Kong Country games. And then they have sub-menus for every single level where they break down the enemies, the location of the coins, and all this good stuff. Yeah, so imagine that. Mario wiki. I don't know why I said Mario. You know what? I'm not even gonna go into that. Okay, gotta find that cannonball. Wow. Alright, life is good. Oh, come on. Voila. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to create a suspend point right here because I do not trust my abilities, folks. And neither should you. Okay. Duly noted. Speaking of Mario, are you interested in the movie? Yeah, I'm interested. I don't think that I'll actually go to the theater to see it simply because I probably won't have a chance to... Why did I do that? I simply won't have a chance to necessarily fit that easily into my schedule. Okay, clearly I need to just load that suspend point. And, yeah, I'm interested to see what they did. Those trailers definitely showed a lot of good stuff. I don't think that I have too much to say in terms of Mario's voice. I wish it was something, but it's not, and I'm okay with it. But yeah, I'm sure that I'll catch it at some point when it streams or something like that. Are you very interested in heading out and checking it out? What are Zeke's takes on the Mario movie? All right, good times. Insert reference of how I saw the original Super Mario Brothers movie. Okay, gotta make sure that I keep at least one of these floating around. Okay, why did I pick it up again? Okay. It's a good thing that you can't see the sweat of my palms. Why did I? Okay. This is what happens when I try to show off. Show off talking about sweaty palms. It's coming. Nice. Okay. Hopefully one of these has a Donkey Kong Country, a Donkey Kong barrel. Time it right. Time is everything. It had one banana. Okay, let's not do this. Why is life challenging? Cautiously optimistic, big fan of most of the cast. More excited for the trajectory this movie will set for additional video game content. Is this it, Zeke? Is this the first great video game movie? And actually, this is a larger subject right now. We're throwing down in the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. What is your favorite video game movie? I'm gonna tell you mine. Let's go say it at the exact same time. Mortal Kombat. Alright, I need to stop drinking. Oh, Street Fighter's good. Actually, I thought at some point I heard you say that you hadn't watched it, but that must have been like years ago. I mean, I love Street Fighter. I won't deny that. It's actually something that I revisit every few years, and I just enjoy watching it. It's a bad movie, but I just enjoy watching it. Um, I heard those Sonic ones were actually quite good. I've actually also heard very good positive things about them, but I haven't seen them myself. I have unfortunately seen it since then. Okay, my favorite scene of the Street Fighter movie, and it's gotta be said, which is why we're stopping operations here, is there's this scene where Ken and Ryu, so spoilers for the Street Fighter movie, have infiltrated M. Bison's forces, and I think Zangief is like showing them around, and then they Ken and Ryu learn of the fact that apparently Chun-Li and E Honda and Balrog, for some reason, are also trying to sabotage M. Bison's operations. And I think their plan is to like run a truck through their weapons so that they all explode. I don't quite remember that specific part. But then M. Bison like gets Ken and Ryu, assuming that they're part of this plot to overtake them or something like that. And then they reveal what's actually happening, and then they show this TV camera that's showing the truck that's about to run into them or whatever, and Zangief responds by saying, "Quick, change the channel." It just like cracks me up every time. It's delicious. It's so good. Okay. So at least we got the exclamation mark in Mudhole Marsh, which means that the only thing that we actually need is the hero coin, or the video game hero coin. Yeah, you don't expect to laugh in the movie. The irony. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, going back to the main subject though, I am interested to see how the Mario movie actually fares, and if Nintendo will be more interested in collaborating with studios to bring some of their content out there, and maybe if we'll see other video game developers try to do the same. Successfully, that is. Again, not too many video game movies that have actually been widely accepted. Widely accepted, not widely accepted. What is... I just smashed a guy with a barrel and he didn't die. Cat o' nine tails indeed. Welcome back to the stream, Inaiko. Didn't get notified you were on. You know, honestly, I actually don't... Is that something that I'm supposed to do? Like, set notifications? I think Twitch does that on its own, right? Whatever the case, happy to see you back. Happy to have you join the stream, as always. I will tell you right now that I failed to listen to the piece of media that you shared with me yesterday. I was planning on doing it this morning with actual proper sense with me, but stuff happened and I couldn't get to it. But I do eventually plan to. It is actually on my desktop. It's a shortcut on my desktop. Probably message you or something like that. And I don't actually need to do this, but I'm here. Alright, excellent times. Where are we in terms of time? Every time I'm trying to not get smashed by critters, somebody's calling me on the phone. Alright. Yeah, thank you for understanding. Very much appreciated. And we are trying to run through Donkey Kong Country 2, getting all of those hero coins and creme coins. And we are talking the Super Mario movie just a bit. Alright, what is in this chest that is so important? Yes. I don't think I have the rest of the letters. Cog. Cog is all you get. Here we go. I'm glad he didn't take a break. Jeez. Oh, I see. Okay, this one's gonna be rough. Oh, it's not so close. Oh, come on! I hate life. I mean, life is good. Sorry, nix that. I love life. I hate that I did that. Let's try this again. At least we got one life, I suppose. That's kind of good. And we lost 2, but we got 1 back. Take 2 steps back, walk 1 step forward. These critters are always so... they're generally harmless, but just the fact that you get bumped to the side every time you punish them is... can be a little bit disorienting in terms of the platforming that's required. The one time that crouching actually serves a purpose. Okay, grab this chest. I gotta be honest with you, the main reason why I'm even grabbing most of these chests or barrels is straight up defense. There's way too many things that just kind of fly at you in this level. I really hope that I make it to Gloomy Gulch. The reason why I actually named this stream How I Got Ghosted was because it was my assumption that I would be largely playing in Gloomy Gulch, and lo and behold, I'm still in Crazy Kremland. Oh man, sadness. I suppose the next stream could be the revenge of How I Got Ghosted. The Ghost Before Christmas. Well, there's always hope. This one will actually be a relatively short stream though. I have a few other commitments closer to 3 PST, but we'll see. We will see. Nice, nice, nice. Don't actually need to do this, but we are here. And I think what I'll do is I'll probably create a save state right before hitting that hero coin. What do you even call it? Like, oh, come on. You know what? I'm just gonna let the timer run out. Or actually, I can just kill myself, right? Yeah, so that actually doesn't count like a failure necessarily. It just boots you from the bonus level. Speaking of Ghosted, one of the things that I remembered the other day was the original Goosebumps book series. I guess I'm dating myself here, but I did used to read those back in the day, or at least a few of them. And of course I definitely thought they were scary. Okay, here we go. This is what separates the Kongs from the Kongs. Okay, jeez. Alright. So let's create a suspend point right here. Overwrite that data. Crunch our fingers just a bit. Drinking some actual water. Same. I'm assuming you mean the books. Yeah, I don't know if I had a favorite necessarily on the line. I think I specifically remember that one that I owned was called Go Eat Worms, and I think the story was vaguely about this kid who raised worms, and then the worms started appearing everywhere around his house in like places that he didn't actually expect. No. Oh, come on. Okay. So close and yet so far. All right. Success is great. Okay, so we've got the exclamation mark. So now it's Mudhole Marsh, and we can move on to Ramby Rumble. It looks like we've already got the hero coin, so the only thing we need are the bonus levels, the creme coins, that is. So let me go back to the Mario wiki and see what that's like. Okay, so it looks like there are 2 bonus levels. One of them, after the Kong's blast from the second barrel cannon, they must land on a platform to the right. From there, they must jump to a floating banana in midair, which uncovers a hidden hook. Okay. And then the second one is, at the end of the King Zing chase, below a blast barrel, Ramby must supercharge into the wall. That one should be easy enough to remember. This level is interesting because I do remember you spend a good chunk of it as Ramby, and it's kind of neat because Ramby is essentially the only animal pal that can actually run through most enemies, specifically bees. So it's almost like if you're overpowered, which is neat. But then of course you encounter King Zing closer to the end of the level, and who is actually the boss of Crazy Cramland. And you just have to outrun it because you can't actually kill it. And I think the way to actually kill it is you end up using Squawks. So therefore, Squawks is stronger than Ramby. Oh, come on. Why do you hurt me? That is crazy close. Now, come to think of it, whenever I drink beer, the heavier beers, generally the flavor that comes to mind, one of the flavors that is prominent is maple. And I guess I feel like in my head, simply because I put both in waffles, that I wonder why honey flavors aren't that common in beers. I guess I have seen a few American Hefeweizens that have there's a honey infusion there, but it's not that common. Okay. Doesn't seem like that was worth anything. I think we have to go down. down in an earlier round. Got chomped. I actually feel... What, am I actually backtracking? This is weird. But sugar, we're going down swinging. Indeed. Their new album dropped last Friday, so I heard about it. I actually haven't heard any of it, but it is kind of exciting that. Oh, now I'm blanking on the group's name. But I thought it was interesting that they're still releasing stuff. I feel like I'm kind of at a loss for where to go here. Wait, there's a hook here. Ah, of course. Those wily kids at Ball Out Foy. Alright, this one's gonna be challenging. Okay, this is the second barrel. So I'm assuming that there's a banana right there. Could that be our floating hook? There it is. Okay. The stage mechanism is so neat. You mean the honey on the side of the walls? Yeah, it's kind of like both something that helps you and it is also an obstacle. Because you can't actually like climb up and down. You know, it's not like Breath of the Wild where you can climb everything. Somebody said that. You can climb everything you see. Alright. Okay, not too shabby. 30 creme coins. Did I get a chance to check out the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay? Yeah, actually, I saw that video probably 48 hours after everyone else had seen it. I mean, long story short, it looks neat, the sort of mechanics that they were touting. And I think it's been released long enough that we can just talk about it. Wait, am I supposed to go up? That's interesting. Oh yeah, I think I was supposed to go up. I think the whole mechanic where you can stick things together to make them into vehicles is kind of a neat idea. Not since Nuts and Bolts have we seen the creation of hovercrafts like that. This is me making a, at this point, 5-day-old joke. But it is kind of clever that they're deciding to approach it like that. I know that a lot of Breath of the Wild people that are still playing were like managing to hobble together things that they weren't supposed to put together. And maybe the developers of Tears of the Kingdom decided to respond to that by actually making it into the game. Okay, I'm not sure if I ever asked you about how you feel that this is the direction Zelda's probably taking going forward, at least as far as 3D is concerned. So actually I do have a thought on that. But before I leave that, you know, one thing that I thought was neat is that I think the ability where you stick things together is called what is the magic hand, the ultimate hand, the super hand. It is totally lost on me right now. The name of the hand is not the issue. The thing is that it's actually a reference to one of Nintendo's oldest toys. And I thought that was kind of cool how they were bringing that particular name back for this very modern thing on a fantasy game. And of course, we are suckers here for retro stuff in the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. Now, in terms of the actual question, what do I think about the direction? You know what? I don't like it. That's a very reductionist. I'm sorry. So I guess it is kind of just my preference that, and this sounds very very limiting, and why would I be talking about this? But just the notion of Zelda for me specifically is the idea of going through a relatively tailored story. And yeah, it's always the thing where you get the magical 3 items, and then you get a second half of that adventure. You visit several palaces, and then you get meet the true villain or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty hackneyed. And not every single game has to have that particular structure. Obviously, my favorite Zeldas are both Majora's Mask and Link's Awakening, and they don't necessarily have that format, or at least it's very different. But just the open world thing with the small shrines just seems a little bit... I like the sandbox that you're putting me in, and there's a lot of stuff to play with, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, it's good. It's just not, it wouldn't be my preference, you know, it's that sort of thing. Right, I associate that toy with the WarioWare series, ha. Yeah, actually, it was there as well, huh? Breath of the Wild is an excellent Zelda spin-off. I like that. That's actually a very good way to put it. A Zelda Gaiden, if you will. A fantastic open-world game starring the cast of Zelda. That's very, very well phrased. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to steal it at some point. But don't worry, I shall credit you. After the conversation in a bibliography. So we can just hop on the bees. It's actually quite satisfying. We can hop on anything, and then the honey itself doesn't actually stop us. Thank you. You can deposit royalties at zeekskyrunner@streamer.org. And once again, before I forget, everyone watching, please go watch Zeke Skyrunner's stream. He does a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, but he also throws in a mix of different stuff. I believe you were playing Resident Evil 4, or at least a demo recently. So it's always a good time there. I'm always looming there, so that might actually be a detractor for people that want to see it. Oh geez, and here's a pressing point. Giant bee is scary. Oh, come on. Okay, wait, don't go there yet. Okay, I think King Zing stops right here. I am far too kind. No, I am not. I'm not kind enough. That's the actual problem. But yeah, like I suggested, I'll always say this. Zeke was one of watching Zeke was actually one of the inspirations in me actually doing this stream. So I want to say at least one of 2 people that inspired me to do this crazy project. So we certainly wouldn't be here without his mentorship. Destroy them all. Can do. I'm just hoping that there's not some platform that I can't overcome. Okay, nice and easy. And no rhinos are allowed. Okay. The 90s were good. Okay, so we've got both our exclamation mark and our hero coin. Of course, King Zing's Sting level doesn't actually have either of those things, so we're gonna go ahead and skip it. let's go ahead and move on to the Lost World, Jurassic Park, and Clovis Kiosk. We've come so far, and in many ways, our inspirations are cyclical. Your production has gotten me thinking about how to improve my own. See now you're being too kind yourself. Yeah, I might have learned one thing or there while doing this, and honestly, I feel like a lot of the times what compels me to add a few more elements is simply me thinking about ways that I would enjoy other streams. Kind of like, what would I like to see on stream other than this guy just drinking beers? So there is that. But yeah, like I said, I certainly wouldn't be here without the great production values that you already implemented into your own work. So thank you for that. Let's go ahead and pay up. Never fight him. Never run away. All right. Ahoy there, me monkey mates. All right. No need to go to the monkey museum. And actually, this is a good spot to take a break before we go into Clobber Carnage, which will undoubtedly be a very frustrating exercise in attrition. I'm going to go and take the boys out, give them some lunch. Here's hoping that it's more like a 5-6 minute thing. So if you're so inclined to see how I get clobbered, stay tuned. And we are back. Welcome back to the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ale Wolf, otherwise known as Ales, gentleman streamer, the excellence of an execution, the no throne Cicerone. And we're in the middle of our Donkey Kong Country 2 run. You'll recall that we're actually trying to get 102% in this game. And so we just entered the Lost World from Crazy Kremland, and the level ahead of us is Clobber Carnage. I too aspire to be known by many nicknames someday. Well, you know, when you go around the block like me, that's what ends up happening. Yeah, how about that? That's a joke. And we are still drinking Pie of the Tiger, which is a kettle sour from our friends at Full Circle Brewing. I think it's growing on me. I wouldn't necessarily, well, what do they say? Kick it out of bed for crackers. Nobody says that. But it is fine. It's nice and refreshing, I think. Oh, you don't need to take any notes on this. Unfortunately, this will forever be recorded and in the annals of YouTube. Alright, but with that, let's get back into the action. And here we go. Let's put our audio back. Okay, so the Lost World levels are incredibly difficult. They are some of the most challenging levels of all of Donkey Kong Country 2. I mean, I think they're just the hardest levels of the game, period. And so these I'm going to have to be very save state heavy, so bear with me. Ales, you dirty cheat, what are you doing? But that is just how we roll. Clobber Carnage, okay. So this has exactly one bonus area. The one nice thing about these Lost World levels is the fact that they actually only have hero coins. They don't actually have any creme coins there, so they exactly have one bonus area, if at that. And that is exactly the one nice thing about the Lost World levels. They are endlessly frustrating. They essentially combine all the game mechanics that has been used thus far and implement them in some crazy ways. It's kind of like the special world in Super Mario World. Still remember Tubular. That was a pain in the butt. All right, let's get started. So the hero coin in this particular level is located at the end of the level's only bonus area. So where is that exactly? At the very end of the level, Kongs should pass up the end of level target and find a lone banana above them. They can use the team up move or throw a Kong to the banana, or simply use the Diddy barrel. Okay, so we'll go all the way to the end of the level, and then we will find that bonus area. Nice. I thought it was gonna come to life like that. And sorry if I'm being a little extra careful here. I kind of just have very traumatic experiences in the Lost World levels. It's like, but Ales, it's just a game. It's funny how, you know, we play games and, you know, they can be very stress-inducing depending on the type of challenges that they present. And yet it is something that we seek. I guess it's a very similar notion to like going on roller coasters and kind of that seeking that thrill, that horror of putting yourself in danger in a very controlled space. Not me though, I hate roller coasters. Please don't put me in one. Ah, now I remember why this place is called Clobber Carnage. Clobber. Hopefully that is the only gimmick of this stage. Oh no, for a moment there I thought, come on. Okay, fortunately we were at a spot where it was safe. Roller coasters and skydiving, got it. When's my birthday? I will give you my answer. My birthday already passed. But yeah, not a fan of. There's two things that are involved with the idea of roller coasters or anything that involves thrills of that nature, and it is altitude and it is acceleration. And I feel like if you take one of those elements away, it is manageable. And if you combine both of these things, I cannot take it. How do I kill these guys without... I guess the only way is to step on them. Okay. Oh. Wonder what would have happened if I would have taken the other barrel. I guess we'll never know. Oh, come on. How can... I can't believe I made that. And I can't believe it's not butter. Ooh, killed itself. So I think the problem is that if I were to get pushed by one of these guys, it'll essentially incessantly push me. And see, that's kind of an example of what I was talking about. It's like once you get into the combo, it'll just rip you apart. I guess that is the nature of combos. Combos, the pretzel snack. I hear it nearby. I wonder if maybe one of these DK barrels... Sorry, one of these guys actually is the DK barrel. No, don't give me my... Weird. No, it's not. Okay, maybe if I... No. I am perplexed as to where this DK barrel might be. And it wasn't that. Alright, I'm gonna create a save state right here. Have a sip of liquid courage. Okay. Up or down, up or down. And I don't hear the barrel anymore. There must be something incredibly obvious here that I'm not seeing. Maybe it's up. Maybe let's do one of these. Oh, I see it now. Maybe if I aim it just right. No, it only does this angle. Well, at least that answered that question. Okay, not too bad. Ah. Okay, let's load that suspend point. I am perplexed how some of these barrels don't seem to have an option for the other Kong. But maybe they shift around when you have the other one instead. So one could make the argument that the level is procedurally generated. But who would make that argument? Okay. Wow, okay. Nice. Let's create a suspend point right here. Rewrite this one. Rewrite history. A tale of swords and souls eternally retold. Okay, so far Clobber Carnage hasn't been that bad, I feel. But, you know, we've only made it halfway. We're halfway there. So just living on a prayer, if you will. I wonder what that was used for. Donkey Kong Country has that signature barrel mechanic where each time you hop in, it feels like a different timing. Makes me wonder how much of that was intentional. Yeah, that is true. And so you wonder where it actually like where those where that algorithm is actually drawn from. I'm sure a bunch of little things, like that's always generally the answer for these things. Is it coming back? Is it gone forever? It's kind of funny how yeah, it was gone forever, I guess. Let me just load that suspend point. It's kind of funny that the Donkey Kong Country thing is that they essentially took the barrels from the original Donkey Kong and they decided to make that one of its bigger themes. Just barrel everything. Which is why it was simple to come up with a name for this stream. Barrel Age Donkey Kong Country. Okay, there's no wall here that might explode. I doubt that did anything. Okay, well, I don't know if it's coming back. There it is. Oh, huh. That's creative. I don't need it. Oh. Well played, Donkey Kong Country 2. Well played. Let's load that suspend point. It feels like they barely aged. You know, that's exactly what I was thinking. Still just as fun as a barrel of monkeys. Let's keep it going. Okay. Alright. We'll probably create a suspend point right before jumping into that barrel. I think that makes the most sense, so we stop wasting time here. Because, you know, that's exactly what this stream is all about. Not wasting time. That's not true. We waste time all the time. A subpar entry into the annals. I think maybe these guys are just enemies and that it doesn't actually mean anything to have them here. I'm gonna still go up there. Check out the story, the NPR podcast. Okay, nothing was there. Let's go ahead and create a suspend point right here. Okay. And I think I just gotta go back, yeah. One shot is all we got, folks. Come on. Whew. That was something. Okay, now hopefully we're close to the end of the level. Here's hoping anyways. Old Ale's heart can't take it. He knocked off. Oh, another section like this. Oh, jeez. Improvising. Oh, okay. Woe is me. Let's go again. Kill this guy. Nothing here, right? No, it doesn't seem like it. And yeah, let's do that. Create a suspend point right here. It's like Ales. 50% of this stream is you creating suspend points. And I say, darn tootin'. What was I supposed to do there? Should have aimed low. Okay, I think we're getting there. I just don't want to make a suspend point in the middle of the sequence. That seems kind of lame. So I won't do that. Oh man, totally whiffed on that. That's... oh, wow. Welcome first time chatter, Zavivaldis. Sorry guys, just arrived. Welcome on in. QQ, this is not a normal level of DKC2, right? So, actually this is part of the Lost World, which is kind of like the extra world past the basic levels of Donkey Kong Country. So they're actually a lot more challenging than the usual ones. Yeah, and there's like 5 or 6 main worlds, and each of them has a hidden entrance to this stage that contains one map, and they're supposed to be some of the most challenging locations. And so here is me meekly trying to make my way through these, and of course cheesing most of it by using save states. But indeed, 25 coins. Certainly welcome. Hopefully you like watching a lot of failure, because that is something that we serve a lot of here. Okay, let's give this another go. Okay, see that I didn't even. Why is me? Good luck. That looks really hard. It is pretty challenging, but it's kind of frustrating when you get so far in the sequence, and then you try again, and then you get even less far. doing? Okay, I kind of just lost my rhythm there. This ain't no DDR, as they say. Somebody said that. Oh, I should have just moved just a little bit. Oh, I should have just shot straight down into that barrel, but I wasn't quick enough. As they say, this ain't no DDR, said the creators of Guitar Hero problem. I don't know why I find that funny. That's actually quite good. This ain't your daddy's DDR. Oh, I got hit again. Madness, I say. Shadow madness. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon for that joke. Legitimately a great sales pitch. Yeah, you could only imagine the elevator music that was playing during that pitch. Whew. Okay. That hitbox was baloney. It was bananas. B-A-N-N-A-N-A-S. I thought about saying that, and then I whiffed it in the middle. Not satisfying. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, let's keep going on with our lives. Of course, that's getting written in the record. I was one with the barrels there, the one time. This might be as good as it gets for this stream, and there goes my reward. Okay, how poisonous, how deadly are these things? This is essentially the tomb. Look at that. Look at this. That was just awful. They played me. I thought I was safe. Ah, so close and yet so far. Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Honestly, so surprised for anyone who is still watching. How far into being a dad do your dad jokes emerge? Does the change hurt? No, I think it was a very slow, gradual transition. I didn't even notice it. Okay, here we are. This is it, folks. And I think we're supposed to just jump the thing. There we go. Destroy them all. And this should net us that hero coin. Oh gosh, I didn't even realize that that's what was gonna happen there. Oh, it's one of these stages. Come on, don't be like that. Ah, jeez. Okay, guys, stop playing. You know what? I'll take it. It's a good thing I have these gloves to absorb all that unnecessary moisture. That's not a fun thing to talk about. Let's go back. Let's go back. Back to Crazy Kremland. And I think that is it in terms of Crazy Kremland. We can actually move into Gloomy Gulch. And lo and behold, we still have about 10-15 minutes or so. Depending. So we might actually hit some levels there, which means that the name of this stream was not actually a total lie. Let's jump up. Let's go funky. Now including funky mode. Okay, so we can certainly tell that Crazy Kremland is complete because it also has the exclamation mark and the hero coin. So now it's Crazy Kremland! And so these other levels here. Let's go into Gloomy Gulch, which is actually the spooky level of Donkey Kong Country 2. Well done, thank you very much. I always say that the game actually takes a turn right after Crazy Kremland, because I feel like up until Crazy Kremland, all of the levels are enjoyable to a certain degree, and you like really want to go into it. And I feel like once you go into Gloomy Gulch, there's a lot of interesting mechanics and enemies, but things definitely start getting harder in terms of at least the normal Donkey Kong Country worlds. So this is where the climb starts, ladies and gentlemen. And let's just create a suspend point right here. The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Alright, so Ghostly Grove already has all the Krem coins. Let's see what we need to do in order to get that hero coin. I mean, we don't really need to move that fast though. This music is it's a bop, as they say. Okay. So video game hero coin. Just after the letter O, the Kongs must jump into the following pit. But move left to land into a barely visible auto fire barrel. Okay, so look out for the letter O. Calls it if you seize it. There's an enemy right up there. Well, I think I spammed this guy in order to get lives in the past. Like, I think he keeps coming back if I do a certain thing. And then he gives you, like, chests or something. Or maybe it's this guy that I'm supposed to follow. Oh, and there's those creepy ropes. Do you remember that time where there was a bunch of people in like subways? Not the restaurants, in actual like what is it? Subway trains, and they were like dressed up like clowns, and it was overly reported by the news because they just had to report on it, of course. There was never any like, I don't know where I think it was just like a weird trend that has mostly ended. A classic banger indeed, the Funky Kong theme. Certainly part of my day-to-day playlist. Okay, I want that letter K for no reason. When was this? I want to say probably like a decade ago. But then again, time kind of just melts when you're my age. My age, which will forever remain undisclosed. But yeah, I don't like these ropes. They're very unpleasant. I don't care for them. Take that. Okay, so there's the letter O, which is what we were looking for. They're cool until they ghost you. See, and that's well played, because that essentially that is the title. Maybe that's what you meant. Maybe there's layers to your statement there, Zeke. Okay, could it be down there? I don't know. Should I just throw myself and see if there's anything? Oh yeah, wait. There's a barrel right there. So how do I, a mere man, actually get there? Maybe the helicopter move? No, not this. Huzzah! Okay, so all we really need to do at this point is just beat the level. And actually, I don't believe that that's a necessity, really. Once you actually pick up the coin, you don't actually need to finish the level. But you know what? We're already here. Might as well just continue. And if we die, then we can just keep moving. I'm trying to face my fear here, folks. I can't wait for the minecart level in this world. It's one of the most frustrating ones ever. And by can't wait, I mean please don't make me do it. Ooh, the letter N. That's actually my favorite one. I fail to understand why hitting a barrel of TNT with another one will only ignite the one that was thrown. Is it just kinetic energy? Well, at the very least, something positive that I can say about this stage is kind of just, why? Okay. Come on. I was talking here. Just the music, the theme here is actually quite pleasant. It does give you like a very atmospheric forest of illusions sort of feel. Kind of like the Lost Woods, but barrel. Whew, okay. Ah, hey, look at that. Back to see me again, eh? Let's see if you've... Okay, so I'm at number 2. It looks like I finally broke to the silver. So the only pillar left is Mario. Gotta take down Mr. Chris Pratt himself. I like how they included the Sonic shoes at the bottom. Alright, let's see if we can squeeze in maybe one more level before I gotta go. And I do gotta go, folks. Gotta... places to be, people to meet. Yeah, I wish my life was that important. Earthworm, Jim's blaster is there too. Actually, that's a good catch. I didn't even notice that. But of course, I could not expect any lesser from a gaming historian sorts like yourself. Okay, in Haunted Hall, I think this is what I was talking about the minecart level. Let's see, how many? 3 bonus areas, so it's gonna be one of these ones. And of course the main enemy here is Cackle, which is the pirate ghost crocodile that chases you, and you're generally running on a timer. So I do have the hero coin, which great, but there's 3 bonus areas in this stage. I'm going to say it's if I actually manage to do that here today, it'll be good, and if not, we'll save it for next time. After escaping from the first Cackle, Kongs must jump to a nearby rail. There are 2 tunnels, each leading to a different bonus area. Kongs must ignore entering the lower tunnel, as driving into the upper one leads to the first bonus area. Okay. So, jump to the rail after the first Cackle. Ignore entering the lower tunnel. Let's give it a shot. Watch me forget everything I said. Okay, and there's Cackle. Snap, Cackle, and pop. And get the pluses, avoid the minuses. Wait. I think I was supposed to go to the top. Just kill me, please. Was I there? No, that's Ghostly Grove. No, never mind. I wanna continue. There was an old calculus joke I used to tell my tutees. Do share. Let me create a suspend point right here, so that nothing gets overwritten. Okay, so past the first Cackle. Okay, jump up. Oh, come on. Let's load that suspend point. Okay, first derivative is velocity. Second is acceleration. Third is jerk. Fourth, fifth, and sixth are snap, crackle, and pop. Excuse me. Yes, that's an apt reaction. Perhaps apt. I did not mean to do that, I swear. That's actually good. And that is a thinker. Snap. Okay. I hate to say this, but if you had told me that joke just straight, I would have actually told you. I didn't actually know that there was an actual name for the derivative of acceleration. And unfortunately, that's just me thinking too much about the nature of the concept. And the crowd goes mild. I'm sorry about that, Zeke. Okay, let's do this. Oh no! Hopefully we can... It's a repeating loop or something like that. Okay, did it. No need to apologize, it's part of the job. Okay, so we missed that first bonus. I think I was supposed to go up again onto the rooftop. So we'll have to go back at some point. Okay, this is getting... I know that somebody just decided to follow, and I will look at that in just a second. Okay. Thank you very much for the follows, Vivaldi's. I'm surprised that I haven't turned you away. Thank you very much. Hopefully you are enjoying some of my misery. Oh no. Okay. I almost feel like reloading that save state. Give me just a second here. Let me message somebody in real life just in case I can actually... Just a second here, folks. Unfortunately, real life is encroaching on real life, on real tournament. Alright, let's give this one more go. Good night. I love it. I will watch you soon. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, hope to catch you again. Catch my schedule. I will actually be streaming tonight. I'll be playing Super Metroid tonight, closer to 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. But I play a bunch of different things. This is only one of them. And it is always the same low quality content. I was just gonna load that suspend point actually. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Hopefully developing some of that muscle memory already. Though I gotta say, the enemy of building muscle memory is unfortunately drinking beers. Oh, I should have jumped there. Great. Well, you have been warned. Gotta try to get 100 stars. And really, most of this is simply going to be jumping as much as I can. Which is already kind of challenging with this little... Okay, there we go. You know what, I'm just gonna complete the level and let it be what it is. I should probably look into what the other bonus areas are, because I believe there is at least one more. Oh no, I missed one. And unfortunately, the error margin in this stage is actually razor thin. So you can't actually make too many mistakes. Let me see where that other... okay, find the token. Just after they escape from the third cackle, the Kongs reach a fork. They must jump the roller coaster on the lower rail for it to drive into the tunnel leading into the third and final bonus area. Okay. So there's a fork somewhere, and I gotta go take the tunnel below. And somehow I know I'm gonna miss that, but you know what? What is time but a machination of the human mind? Oh no! Why did I... Okay. Just losing my edge here, my razor sharp edge. Oh man, that's rough. Come on, dude. jeez, guy. That's not good for business. I'm just gonna load that suspend point. This is kind of sad. Alright. Gotta remember to make that second jump when reaching that fork. Okay, here we go. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Find the token. Please let it be simple. Wait a second. It was back there, wasn't it? Oh jeez, guy, come on. Why do you play with my emotions? Okay, no. Let's load it again. You know what, we'll probably just create a suspend point as we enter that first bonus stage. It has already been established that I can get there. So no hits to my impeccable gaming cred. Okay, beautiful. Let's go right here. Okay, so I just gotta wait for the backwardness. Be a little more prepared to drive backwards, Ails. Oh man. Let's try this one last time and then... You know what, we'll probably have to call it after this simply because I've got one other business to attend to. Life is pain, life is pain. You know what, let's go ahead and... Well, that suspend point is there. So let's go ahead and just reset the game. And go back to... Turn off the sound here. Let's go back to... let's do forecast. Okay. That's a little bit better. So that was it for today's bonus round featuring Diddy's Conquest, aka Diddy's Conquest. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Hopefully some of the banter here was to your liking. I know it certainly wasn't to my liking, but I don't get to choose. Like I suggested earlier, I will be streaming once more tonight, closer to 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'll say that there's more like an 89% chance that I will be doing that. So if you like retro games, I will be playing Super Metroid, where I am knee deep into Norfair and backtracking, and very much likely I will not get a lot of progress in. But you know what? That's par for the course for the Ails and Fails Twitch stream. We'll probably be having this exact same conversation in a year's time. But yeah, thank you very much for your support, everyone. Thanks for another great cast. Thank you very much again, Zeke. And again, everyone, please go watch Zeke Skyrunner on his Twitch channel. A marvelous streamer that does a lot of Final Fantasy XIV and a lot of other variety content. Highly recommend that one. But yeah, again, thank you, everyone. And where's my glass? My glass of sour. Stay thirsty, Ale Pack. We'll see you again.